Well, hello again, Roll to YouTube. My name is Pat, and this is my quick video clip or video on my predictions are for the next Academy Awards, and not so much predictions, but also things that I think that should win. And I left out a few categories, obviously, because I didn't feel qualified enough to answer them, such as sound and all that. And I don't think I paid enough attention to really cast in on things like that. But what I do have are things that I personally feel are the best movies, like in this category for this, or the best actors and such. So I'm just gonna jump into it. Best cinematography, Slumdog Millionaire. I think Danny Boyle is a great director, and I think that it's time that he starts getting recognition. And I think that that movie was phenomenal with its art direction, or not art direction, excuse me, with his camera direction. Editing, Wally. I think that that movie was, I mean, most of it was a silent film, and it just required nothing but editing, so that should tell you something, and it did a brilliant job of it. Wally's a really, really good movie, and if you haven't seen it, it's probably a shame, and you really ought to. Art direction, this one was no problem at all. Hellboy 2, that movie was so good, art direction, and the great thing about it is that it did everything analog, and there was nothing digital, and that's a really, really, really good thing, and I wish more studios would consider doing analog processes and like makeup effects and things like that before doing everything in CG. Best costume, I gotta say The Changeling. I think that Clint Eastwood, well, oh, you know what, I didn't look up who did the costume design, but I think that the movie had a really, really good costume design, and I think though that it really depicted the period well, and I think it definitely seemed very natural and appropriate. Um, Original score, actually I don't even know why I'm mentioning this one. I couldn't think of like who would possibly be the best, and that one's really up in the air. And I don't think there's many scores that really stuck out this year, to be frank. Best song though, I think that even though I'm not really crazy about the song, I think it's going to go to Bruce Springsteen for for the song The Wrestler for the movie The Wrestler. Best visual effects, it's probably going to go to Iron Man or the Hulk, but I really think it should go towards Hellboy 2. I think that Hellboy 2 had the most phenomenal special effects this year. Also, you're probably going to see Dark Knight on the list, but Dark Knight's special effects were horrible. Even though I thought Dark Knight was a wonderful movie, its special effects were not that great. Let's see. Makeup. Okay, yeah, art direction was Hellboy, and makeup also Hellboy. This one's a no-brainer. I mean, of course, I was talking about the makeup before. The makeup in it's just phenomenal, though. Everything about it, like visually, is just stunning. I think Hellboy 2 is probably the most visually stunning movie this year, and its makeup just goes right along with that. Moving along, let's see, best supporting actress. I'm gonna go with Viola Davis for Doubt, and I don't think she's gonna win it, but I think she should. And the reason why is because I think that people aren't gonna catch on to like the subtleties in her acting. That it's like one of those things that it's not so laid on thick that people are gonna go, oh, she's doing good acting. They're not gonna recognize it very well, but I think she was really good in it, and that her facade was really well placed in that movie. Um, Best supporting actor. This one I'm torn between. It's either Heath Ledger for Dark Knight because I thought that was a really good character, and they're probably gonna give it to him because he died, of course. But also Philip Seymour Hoffman for Doubt, and he was really genuinely good for that. But I don't think people are gonna like his character enough to actually want to nominate him. You know. Best actress. This one is hands down, no question, like leagues ahead of everybody else. Meryl Streep for Doubt. Wow, like I'm not a Meryl Streep fan at all, but she was phenomenal in that movie, and I just like from the subtleties to like playing like her part like a violin to playing her part like a drum, like she did the part wonderfully. Best actor. This one I'm gonna be torn right down the middle too. I think it's a toss up between Sean Penn for Milk and Mickey Rourke. I know Mickey Rourke for The Wrestler. And I don't think the wrestler. I thought The Wrestler was a good movie. I didn't think it was a phenomenal movie, but I think though that he in that movie was really good, and I think that he potentially deserves to get Best Actor for that. Um, Moving along here, Best Adapted Screenplay. This one should come as no surprise. John P. Shanley for Doubt. That was a great adaptation. Best Original Screenplay. Nick Shinak, excuse me, Nick Shink. I don't know how to say his name. I'm sorry, but the writer for Gran Torino. I think that the screenplay for that was brilliant, and I think that the screenplay was probably about half the movie. Best director, back again, Danny Boyle. I think that Danny Boyle's like time has come to finally be recognized, and this is of course for Slumdog Millionaire. It was a really good movie. He's a really good director. He's honestly like between well, for everyone out there to know, Danny Boyle is in fact my favorite director, and he's right up there with like Clint Eastwood. I think Clint Eastwood is the better director. I know it sounds weird, but I like Boyle better. I just like his movies for some reason. They really connect with me. Best animation. It's going to be competing, I think, with Waltz with Bashir, but it definitely deserves to go to WALL-E. I think that WALL-E is leagues above Waltz with Bashir. But for best foreign film, I think Waltz with Bashir does deserve that. So that's best foreign film. And finally, best film of the year. I gotta say, it's a lot of great movies out there, and seemed like such a bad year until I like sat down and looked at all these movies. But even though I hadn't really mentioned them to be for the best of any other category, I think as a whole the best movie this year was The Dark Knight. And I know it's such a cliche, right? Like everyone's all over it, but it is genuinely a good movie. You know, I guess the sum of its total parts just made it up for being that good of a movie, and I think that overall that probably deserves to win more than anything else. And that's basically my list. And you know, post your comments, let me know what you think, and thanks for watching.